There are many urban legends surrounding Jerusalem, especially about the Golden Gate and why it remains closed. It wasn't sealed by erosion or decay, but by deliberate action centuries ago. 500 years ago, stone sealed its entrance, not from age, but from fear. It said, "This gate will stay shut until the Messiah returns." But something has changed. Deep within Jerusalem's ancient walls, the Golden Gate, once silenced by empires, has partially opened. And if prophecy is true, this is more than archaeology. It may be the beginning of something divine. They call it the Golden Gate. But for centuries, it's been nothing more than stone and silence. Located in the eastern wall of Jerusalem's old city, the Golden Gate, also known as the Eastern Gate or the Gate of Mercy, faces the Mount of Olives, overlooking the ancient Kidron Valley. It doesn't open for traffic. It doesn't welcome tourists. It doesn't even creak in the wind, because it's been sealed, bricked shut, untouched for over 480 years. But this isn't just any gate. This one carries spiritual weight. In both Jewish and Christian traditions, the Messiah is prophesied to enter through it. Christians believe Jesus fulfilled Zechariah's prophecy by entering Jerusalem through this gate on a donkey before his crucifixion. Jews believe this gate is where the future Redeemer will enter to restore Israel. And perhaps that's why, in 1541, Suleiman the Magnificent, ruler of the Ottoman Empire, ordered the gate sealed stone by stone, not with ceremony but with strategy. Some say he feared the prophecies. Others believe he aimed to block Jewish hope for deliverance. To ensure that no priest or messianic figure could walk through, a Muslim cemetery was constructed directly in front of it, believing no holy man would cross the dead. But if prophecy was meant to be stopped, why does history keep pushing forward? Because now, for the first time in generations, the gate's inner chambers, once buried in silence, have reportedly opened to worshippers. And whether by man or miracle, this shift is awakening something ancient. Hold on, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so now. Like and comment and share. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter. The gate wasn't merely shut for defense. It was sealed with purpose. In Ezekiel 44:2, an ancient prophecy whispers through time. This gate is to remain shut because the Lord, the God of Israel, has entered through it. That one line changes everything. This wasn't a king's decree, it was a divine command. Many scholars believe this prophecy was fulfilled when Jesus entered Jerusalem on Palm Sunday, crossing the Mount of Olives and passing through the Eastern Gate, just as Zechariah 9:9 describes. But something shifted after that moment. If the Lord entered through that gate, as Ezekiel wrote, then it must remain closed until his return. And yet Suleiman, whether unaware or defiant, sealed the gate, thinking he could halt destiny. But in sealing it, he may have fulfilled prophecy instead. Time after time, others have tried to undo what God may have ordained. In 1917, as Muslim leaders prepared to demolish the gate, British forces unexpectedly captured Jerusalem and halted the plan. In 1967, during the Six-Day War, Israeli leaders debated reopening it. But a respected rabbi warned them, only the Messiah may open that gate. History has tried to interfere, but something unseen has resisted, like invisible hands holding the stones in place. And now, with the gate's inner passage reportedly accessible for the first time in centuries, we must ask, was this a decision of man, or has God allowed a crack to appear as a sign? Jerusalem has many gates. Some have been destroyed, others rebuilt, renamed, or forgotten. But the Golden Gate isn't like the rest. It has become a symbol of resistance, not against people, but against time. Every attempt to tamper with it seems to echo back with consequences. It's as if unseen forces are guarding what was sealed long ago. Even when peace treaties were signed, the Eastern Gate remained untouched. Even as bulldozers cut new paths, no stone from this gate has moved. Even as the world changes, this gate stands still. And perhaps that's why today's events are so startling. In 2019, reports emerged that the gate's inner chamber, hidden behind centuries of stone and silence, had quietly opened. Not for kings, not for soldiers, But for worshippers, photos circulated. Videos leaked. Some showed people praying inside the once sealed vestibule. Others hinted at quiet renovations behind the walls. Authorities gave no clear explanation, but to those watching prophecy, this was no coincidence. It was a signal, because Scripture says the gate was shut after God entered through it. And if it's beginning to open again, even from within, then the question haunting generations becomes urgent. Is he coming back soon? Because a gate like this doesn't shift on its own. And if it does, something or someone is approaching. The stones of Jerusalem have always spoken through scars, inscriptions, and ancient dust. But the Golden Gate speaks without sound. It speaks through stillness, through its defiance to change, through every failed attempt to move it. There was a time when rulers believed they controlled history, that they could seal gates, draw borders, or build walls, and in doing so contain prophecy. But the Golden Gate has outlived them all. No other gate in the world has resisted change like this one. The Ottomans sealed it shut. The Crusaders once opened it, only for it to be closed again. Muslim leaders tried to destroy it. Israeli forces debated unlocking it. Each time the story paused. Each time the gate endured. Then came 2019. For the first time in centuries, the silence within broke. The gate's outer face remained sealed, solid, unmoving. But behind the bricks, the inner side was quietly accessed, like a whisper. Those who entered didn't bring swords or scrolls. They brought prayers. So what does it mean when the heart of the gate opens, but the face stays sealed? Could this be a spiritual message, still hidden from the world, yet already stirring within? If the gate is a clock, then perhaps the hands have just moved, not striking midnight yet, but advancing. And prophecy doesn't announce itself. It doesn't broadcast. It whispers. And this whisper came from within a wall once believed to be untouchable. Directly across from the Golden Gate lies the Mount of Olives, a peaceful slope dotted with olive trees and ancient tombs. But that mountain is more than scenery. It's the stage. In Zechariah 14, it is written that when the Lord returns, his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, and it will split in two. This isn't symbolic. It's location-specific prophecy. And the gate facing it? That's no coincidence. The mount and the gate are perfectly aligned like mirrors of eternity. It's not poetic, it's strategic. It's as if Jerusalem was designed for one final moment. In his first coming, Jesus approached from this mountain. He descended its slope, crossed the Kidron Valley, and entered Jerusalem. Not through any southern or western gate, but this one, the one never meant to open again until his return. That entry wasn't a parade, it was a prophetic signal. And now, with rumors of the gate's interior awakening, and global attention shifting once again to Jerusalem's east, that alignment matters, because this gate does not face Rome. It does not face Mecca. It does not face Washington. It faces the place where his feet will stand. And if prophecy is true, if the geography matters, then this isn't just old stone. It's a door, one that was closed for a reason, and maybe preparing to open for a purpose. What happens next isn't about politics. It's about timing. And only one figure is worthy to walk through that gate. Two religions, two timelines, one gate. For Jews, the Golden Gate is where the long-awaited Messiah will enter to restore the kingdom of Israel, to reign in peace, and to bring justice to the nations. For Christians, it is the gate through which Jesus already entered, and the one he will enter again, not in humility but in glory. What's astonishing is this: both agree the gate is tied to a divine return. That kind of unity is rare, but this gate carries it. It's known in Hebrew tradition as Shar Harachamim, the gate of mercy. Not wrath, not war, mercy. That alone suggests something beyond politics or empire. It hints at redemption. And while beliefs differ in form, they align in timing. Both traditions expect that the gate will open when the end of the age approaches, and that when it opens, everything changes. This shared expectation is what makes the recent activity so spiritually electric. The idea that the inner passage, once sealed, has been accessed has sent ripples through both communities. Some say it's just a renovation. Others believe it's a foreshadowing. If you believe the gate opens with the Messiah, then a gate cracking open could mean he is closer than we think. And if both Jews and Christians are watching the same gate, waiting for the same event, then this isn't coincidence, it's convergence. Because whether you call him Messiah ben David or King of Kings, everyone agrees this gate will open when he comes. Throughout history, men have tried to control what God has declared. They've drawn borders with blood, rewritten laws with fear, and built barriers where prophecy said a king would walk. But every time they touched the Golden Gate, something pushed back. In the early 1900s, Muslim leaders under Ottoman rule planned to demolish the gate altogether. The orders were signed. The date was set. But on the very day it was to happen, Jerusalem fell to British forces. The plan vanished in the smoke of a power shift no one expected. Again in 1967, during the Six-Day War, Israeli forces surged through the old city. They had the tools, the authority, and the opportunity to unseal the gate, but they didn't. Why? A respected religious leader advised them, only the Messiah may open this gate, and so they stepped back. These weren't passive delays. These were moments of restraint, as if unseen hands were holding the door closed, waiting for a specific hour. Even the construction of the Muslim cemetery in front of the gate, designed to prevent a priestly figure from crossing, may have been a strategic human move. But if prophecy is true, it was also futile, because when the king returns, no wall, grave, or empire will stand in his way. The world thinks it can pause prophecy, delay it, redirect it, but you cannot shut what God has sealed, and you cannot stop what he has set in motion. And now the motion has begun again. Prophecy doesn't always arrive with thunder. Sometimes it moves in silence, in shadows, in the shifting of stone beneath centuries of dust. And that's what makes the recent change in the Golden Gate so powerful. It wasn't loud. It wasn't announced on global news. There was no press conference, just a quiet opening. The gate remains sealed from the outside, as it has since 1541. But now, the inner chamber, long closed to the public, has become accessible. No bulldozers, no explosions, just a door open from within. Is it coincidence? Maintenance? A mistake? Or is it something more? Because Jesus didn't say his return would come with clear schedules or press alerts. He said it would come like in the days of Noah, when people were distracted, unaware, living normally, until the rain began to fall. He said to watch, not wonder, to stay awake, not speculate, because when he returns, it won't be subtle. Every eye will see him. He will come with the clouds. The nations will mourn. But before the king arrives, there are signs, and some signs come in stillness, like a sealed gate suddenly stirring. Not broken, but breathing. Not destroyed, but waking. The watchers of prophecy, the ones who don't need headlines to see the patterns, are now leaning in. Because what's happening may not be the fulfillment itself, but it may be the whisper that comes just before the trumpet sounds. Some see the Golden Gate as a relic. Others now see it as a countdown, a clock without numbers, marking time not with hours, but with fulfillments. This gate doesn't tick, it waits. And waiting is not inactivity, it is preparation. Every attempt to breach it, halted. Every plan to erase it, reversed. Every stone laid, preserved. And now, something is moving. In the context of prophecy, nothing happens by accident. The partial opening of the inner chambers may seem like a small event, but so was a whisper to Ezekiel. So was a donkey walking through this gate 2,000 years ago. God rarely begins with explosions. He begins with alignment. And today, things are aligning. The Mount of Olives stands watch. The Temple Mount remains contested. Rumors of a third temple swirl louder each year. And now, the gate of prophecy is breathing again. For believers, this isn't fear, it's a signal. A reminder that Jesus said to be ready. He never gave a date. He gave signs. He said, when you see these things begin to happen, lift up your heads, for your redemption is drawing near. This gate was never just about bricks and mortar. It's about timing, and the one whose arrival will change everything. And if this is the gate he will walk through, then every stone matters, every rumor matters, every movement matters. Because if the countdown has begun, then we are not watching history. We're standing in it. For nearly 500 years, the Golden Gate stood silent, untouched, unbothered, and sealed, not by time, but by something deeper, by prophecy. And now it's no longer silent. Whether it's a small opening or a signal of what's to come, one truth echoes louder than ever before. The gate is moving. Across the world, the signs are multiplying. Wars and rumors of wars. Earth groaning with disaster. The spiritual lines between truth and deception growing thin. And right at the heart of it all is Jerusalem, a city not chosen by politics but by God himself. And in that city a gate, and in that gate a message that says he has entered once. He will enter again, not on a donkey but as a king. And when that happens, no empire will be able to stop him. No army will stand against him. No wall will matter. No gate will remain shut. We are not watching coincidence. We are watching alignment. A moment that has been written in scripture and whispered through centuries is now being seen with human eyes. The Golden Gate is still sealed, but it's not sleeping. And the question now is not if it will open. The question is, will you be ready when it does?